The Five Satins, left, Fred Parris, ca. 1950s courtesy Everett Collection. Fred Parris, frontman for the Five Satins, the doo-wop group whose smash 1956 ballad, In the Still of the Night, became an enduring standard and was prominently used in movies including Dirty Dancing and The Irishman, died Thursday after a brief illness. He was 85. I never expected it to have so much of an impact, Parris told the New Haven Register in 2014. I didn't know if they were going to listen to it 15 minutes later, let alone 50 years. On February 19, 1956, Parris and one of his bandmates, Al Denby, were at home on military leave in New Haven, Connecticut, when they recorded In the Still of the Night in the St. Bernadette Catholic Church basement. It was the heart of the doo-wop era, when groups such as Frankie Lyman scoring radio hits in New Haven had its own nutmegs, chestnuts, pyramids and desires. It was what you had back then when young kids were singing on street corners, Jim Freeman, a former Parris bandmate, told The Ringer in 2019 after The Irishman came out. It was just honest street music. Parris had written the song in Philadelphia while on guard duty at a U.S. Army base. I started writing songs, which I hadn't really planned on doing, he sighed in a NAMM oral history video. I heard the other songs that groups were recording and I just tried my hand at it. The Five Satins hadn't expected In the Still of the Night to take off, and by the time that it did, hitting number 3 on the R charts, Parris had returned to active duty in Japan. Another singer, Bill Baker, had to take his place at performances until he returned. The hit would chart 3 different times on Billboard's Hot 100, in 1956, 1960 and 1961. That song changed my life, Parris told the Register. Born in New Haven, Parris grew up listening to big band star Glenn Miller on the radio before discovering R. Delivered newspapers as a teenager and, in high school, joined a group called the Scarlets, for which he wrote a regional hit called Dear One. After In the Still of the Night, the Five Satins performed on bills with other top stars of the day, from Dion to Gary U.S. Bonds, and scored follow-up hits including The Jones Girl, Wonderful Girl, and Oh Happy Day, some of which they'd recorded during the same New Haven church basement session. Later, Parris sang in other groups, including Fred Parris and the Restless Hearts, Bring It Home to Daddy in the 60s and Black Satin in the 70s. The Five Satins lineup changed frequently over the years, as was the case for many doo-wop groups, with several of the originals reuniting for their Rhythm Blues Foundation Hall of Fame induction in 1998. Parris sang for years in oldies shows and, in one of his final Facebook posts on New Year's Eve, wrote, "Entertaining you and meeting you through the years was a pleasure." Of In the Still of the Night, he said in a 2013 interview with WJCT of Jacksonville, Florida, "Because we did it at the church, I think the song was blessed. And so was I it. Lastito long, long time."